2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Hey everyone, I'm going to be starting a new project here. I've been returning my containers to the Encorp Return-it program for a few years now, and I've noticed over time that I've been shorted several containers over the years. I generally don't complain or say anything about it, just let it go. It hasn't been enough to really bankrupt me or anything, so I've always let it go. Except for one time when I was actually shorted 24 cans, and I went into the location, I mentioned it to the manager, and he just gave me $2.40, and that was the end of it. I walked away, and I just let it go. But I ended up starting to always count my cans before I dropped them off. And the majority of the time, I'm going to say 85% of the time, I'm shorted at least one container during each drop. I usually drop 2 bags at a time, but it's always minimum 1. I've been shorted up to 6. It's getting a little old, so I gotta do something about this, at least try. I don't expect Encorp Return-it to make any changes to fix the issue, but the bottom line is, if it's happening to me, it's happening to many people, obviously. So, you know, the credit for these deposits being returned, they're going to someone, and obviously it's not the people that actually return them. So it was about 3-4 weeks ago, I was dropping off a couple of bags at a local location, and a gentleman was on his way out, and he was upset, kind of cussing under his breath. And I mentioned, just out of the blue, I said, "What, you getting shorted too?" And that's exactly what happened. Apparently the previous time he was there dropping off some Return-it containers, he was shorted 10 containers. And he was pretty upset about it. Apparently they didn't reimburse him for it, which is understandable. How do you prove you had the containers in there? You know, what do? Videotape each time you load your bags before you drop them off and go in with your video and show them? It's just not going to happen. You know, if it's happened to me and him, it's happening, I'm sure, to the majority of people. So I think Encorp Return-it should do something about it and try and figure out a way to get better counts. But anyways, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to move on to the beginning of the first project. I'm going to load up a couple of bags on video, do a count on the video. I'll have them loaded into the bags. I'll put the labels on them, and I'm going to return each bag to a different location. I have enough for 2 bags, so we'll see how that goes. Anywho, I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to move on to loading the bags, and we'll see how they do. Hopefully it works out okay, but I'm really not expecting it to. It's happened too often, so I'm expecting it to keep on happening. Time to move on to loading up the first couple of bags. Okay, I'm going to get started on loading up a couple of these bags here to drop off at 2 different Encorp Return-it locations. It looks like we have about, let's say, 80 to 100 containers in this large bag here. I'll split them up as close to 50-50 as I can. And I was going to add a counter to the video, but it really looks like it's more hassle than it's worth. So we'll just count along together, and we'll just have to do with that. Let's get started here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. Actually looks like it's pretty close to half. I'm gonna go 43, make it uneven. And I'm gonna mark that down here. First bag is 43. And we'll swap the bags out. Okay, first bag is 43. Okay, on with the count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 41. That was pretty close to 50-50. So we got 41, and, well, let's make it 42. Yummy. 42. Mark that one down. And we'll lock this one up. Okay, this is the second bag at 42. I'm just going to leave these on there because, of course, I'm going to forget the counts. I'll just be sure to remove them before I drop them off. Okay, so that should work pretty good. I think we're okay. It usually takes a few days for them to credit the account. I have the online account set up. I got to put the stickers on. My account comes with these little stickers. You just put them on the bag. The places that have the scanners, you scan it before you drop it off, which is great. And other places don't have the scanner. So I'm going to drop one off at a place with the scanner. And the second bag I'll drop off at a location that does not have the scanner. When the account's credited, everything's all done, I'll get back to it, finish things up, and, well, we'll see how they did. Hopefully it's good. We'll see, though. We're about to head out to drop these two bags off at a couple of different Encorp Return-it locations. I suppose we'll use the 43 count bag at the location that does not have the scanners, and we'll use the 42 count bag for the location that does have a scanner. Okay, we are at the Fraser Valley Bottle Depot. We're going to drop the 43 count bag off here. I haven't been here for a long time, but I don't believe they still have the scanners yet. Okay, we've made it to the semi-ammo Encorp Return-it location. This is where we're going to be dropping off the 42 count bag. And I have been here a few times in the past. I know these guys have the scanners. I have the label on, ready to go, so we'll see how they do. So we'll get this done, and I guess I'll get back to the video in a few days when I hear back from Encorp Return-it notifications. See what the count is. See you then. Okay, we are back, ready to finish this video up. I received the Encorp Return-it program notification email yesterday evening. And what I've done here is I've just taken a screenshot from the website from my account just to make this a little easier, because you'll notice here I've redacted some of the information from the website. I've taken out the dates and anything related to the account because I plan on continuing this project for a while. I've been shorted quite a few containers in the past, and at one time I was actually shorted one full bag of containers. I returned 2 bags at one location, and I was only credited for one. I didn't bother arguing. I just considered it lesson learned. I just wasn't going to let it happen again because there's no way I could prove I dropped the bag off. Obviously, they couldn't find the label or whatever the case was. I don't want to point fingers, but whatever. It happened. Lesson learned, and it's not going to happen again. Point is, there's just no possible way I did not put a label on the bag that I wasn't credited for. So I'm going to continue this project, and we'll see how it goes. I found an issue already just on this first attempt here. Looking at the screenshot from the web page, we'll remember that I dropped off 43 containers at the Fraser Valley location. I have it highlighted yellow. And I dropped off 42 containers in the bag at the semi-ammo location. The semi-ammo has the scanners and the Fraser Valley did not have the scanners. As you can see, the Fraser Valley location caught them all. 42 plastic, polycoat, and metal containers, 42, and 1 aluminum can, 1, and it shows 43 containers received at Fraser Valley. Great, thumbs up. Semiahmoo location, we dropped off the 42 containers. You can see here, this is the Semiahmoo location, plastic, polycoat, and metal, 41. 41 containers credited to the account. So, you know, one container can be an honest mistake. You know, I can let stuff like that go. It wouldn't bother me. I have never been credited extra containers ever. I know that for sure because I always counted the containers before I dropped them off. But anyways, I'm just going to continue with this project for a while and see how it goes. If they happen to catch on to my account somehow, if they do any cross-referencing, who knows. I do have a backup account I can switch to if I need to, if I get suspicious. But for now, this is what we got. I guess I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I will follow up soon. I think I'm close to having another couple of bags to return here shortly, so I'll do it as soon as possible. Anyways, I'll leave it at that for now. Thanks for watching. If you found this video at all informative, helpful, or entertaining, even in the slightest, please consider a like. Leave me a comment. Maybe even consider a subscription. I would appreciate it very much. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Maybe see you on the next video.